We spent the early 2020s operating within massive centralized power structures. A handful of tech platforms held nearly total control over user workflows and the global supply chains that powered them. At the hardware level, the production of the world's most advanced chips relied almost entirely on a single manufacturer in Taiwan, TSMC. Inside our homes, ecosystems like Sonos required users to commit to a specific hardware line just to maintain a multi-room audio setup. This chart shows the financial result of that centralization. To access the best digital tools, users had to manage a fragmented list of individual monthly AI subscriptions that quickly stacked up into a significant financial barrier. With a captive audience, these corporations faced little pressure to improve. When users are locked into an ecosystem, the incentive to iterate disappears. By mid-2026, rapid industry shifts began pulling at the seams of these structures, targeting every layer from consumer software to global hardware manufacturing. The first signs of this shift appeared at the consumer level, where long-standing user lock-in began to dissolve. Maintaining high-level access to GPT, Claude, and Gemini simultaneously reaches $720 a year. OneMin.ai changes that math. A unified dashboard for all these premium models for a one-time $80 fee removes the financial barrier. Beyond the cost, these tools were physically restrictive. Advanced AI coding traditionally required a developer to be tethered to a high-powered desktop environment. OpenAI's Codex Mobile breaks that physical link. It allows developers to run complex code-based refactors on a remote machine, while managing the entire process, including reviews and approvals, directly from a phone. Users are finding ways to decouple their productivity from specific platforms and physical locations, reclaiming control over both their budgets and their movements. Moving to the platform layer, we are seeing specialized challengers successfully target the specific features that once made tech giants appear untouchable. In 2026, the independent startup Runway claimed the top spot on video generation leaderboards, outperforming both Google's Veo 3 and OpenAI's Sora 2 Pro. Runway achieved this by focusing on realistic physics. This simulation shows how they've mastered the way a glass ball naturally bounces and deforms, a level of cause and effect understanding that larger competitors are still chasing. This push for open utility is also hitting the hardware market, as Bose releases the Lifestyle Ultra series to challenge the dominant position of Sonos. Bose is gaining ground by adopting open protocols like AirPlay and Google Cast, enabling their speakers to work across different brand ecosystems rather than requiring a closed setup. The most successful platforms in 2026 are those prioritizing deep technical specialization and open interoperability over the all-in-one model. At the very top of the industry, the trillion-dollar titans are now clashing as they attempt to eliminate their own corporate dependencies. OpenAI is currently preparing for a potential legal battle with Apple, following the friction in their 2-year ChatGPT integration partnership. The dispute centers on Apple's decision to treat OpenAI's technology as a secondary feature, while focusing its primary resources on its own product, Apple Intelligence. At the same time, Apple is moving to resolve its most significant bottleneck, its total reliance on TSMC for chip manufacturing. Apple has begun testing production using Intel's 18A Plus process, designed to give Apple more leverage in the manufacturing market. By diversifying into US-based Intel plants, Apple is attempting to protect its hardware supply from the geopolitical risks currently centered in Taiwan. These moves show that even the most powerful companies now view single-partner dependencies as a strategic liability, pushing them to unbundle their core operations. This diagram represents the great unbundling. We are seeing consumer software, specialized platforms, and global hardware manufacturing separating from their centralized hubs. Whether it's a developer coding from a cafe, a startup perfecting physics-based video, or Apple diversifying its silicon supply, the objective is the same. This movement toward multi-platform access and domestic manufacturing suggests that single-point dependencies are no longer considered acceptable risks for users or corporations. As these walled gardens continue to crack, the resulting competition is driving down costs and forcing a faster pace of innovation for everyone involved.